Hey guys, welcome back. Modi 101 here, and we're back in the world of Infinity. And I did a little bit of work in between episodes. Not much, just mostly kind of went through this stuff and whatnot. So, alright, so what I did in between episodes, I grabbed a couple of our ender pearls, and I decided I was going to go out on a big, epic voyage to go find ourselves a, whatchamacallit, would you get out of my stuff? I hate you so bad. You and your little brother. Look at that. Look at that. Anyways, sorry. Okay, so I went on I went on an epic voyage, and we're gonna make that same voyage today. And I found an end dungeon. It's a ways. It's gonna be like 8 episodes. I'm kidding. It's not gonna take us that long to get there, but. So, and I haven't looked around in it. I just kind of found it and went from there. So, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get ourselves a full stack of torches because it is dark in there. So, anyways, but since this isn't going to be a super crazy thing to talk about, like while we're doing this, I figured, why don't we chit-chat? Get back to some chit-chat. So, I had someone bring up, and I wrote down the name into the piece of paper way, sorry. I had somebody basically talk about losing friends. Now, and yes, we're getting into chatting with Modi. They had basically, now, they were a little bit vague on it, and they said losing friends. And that can kind of go 2 different directions. And I think maybe we'll talk about both of them. So, hashtag real talk is what we're getting into. We haven't done one of these in a long time. So, and so the first version of what that means when it pops in my head about losing friends is just as, having friends, close people in your life, and then you kind of go your separate ways. You kind of end up doing your own thing. This bad boy's still going solid. And then, and it's sometimes when you lose a friend, there's a fight, an argument, a disagreement, whatever you want to call it, that leads to it. But generally, and this has always been my opinion, and mind you, anything I'm saying here is just my opinion. Oh, by the way, we're here. This is how close an end dungeon is to our base. Our base is right there on the other side of that hill. How did I figure out this was here? This thing actually ended up digging up some stone bricks. Some stone bricks. So I knew there was something near it, so I knew I didn't have to go that far, luckily. So we're going to go down here. We're going to search around. Hopefully, we're going to find the schematic that we need to be able to make those things for our new machine. So, and there's a chance I'm going to die, and I'm going to scream, and I'm going to have a fit, and everything else. So while I do that, we will chit-chat. So I made a ladder down, and this is really about as far as I got. So, all right. Oh, yeah, the badness has already started. Anyways, so, a lot of the time, you'll have a friend. Let's actually do this real quick. Let's run up here. And let's actually, we don't need our lumber axe. Let's move that there. Let's move the torches here. So we should. Oh, I thought we could. Oh, I thought we could do this. All right. So anyways, so a lot of time, you may have like a fight with a friend. You have an argument, and you guys aren't friends anymore. I've always been a big believer in the concept of if somebody's really a friend, you can pretty much get through just about every argument, I mean, unless one of you really does something really nasty, Oh, the other one was a decoy. I see how it is. Oh, that's a fiery skeleton. I don't know what that means, but that's not good. Don't die. Yes, I'm not wearing armor. Deal with it. Oh, yeah! See, there's a lot of decoys. Anyways, this is going to be tricky to have like a heart-to-heart and not die. Anyways, so yeah, but if you have a fight with a friend, I mean, unless it's, like they murdered your grandmother or something like that, there's generally very few things I can think of that two people can fight over. And a lot of the time, especially people, I wouldn't say just younger age, considering the fact that people fight about this all the time. Somebody messes around with the other person's boyfriend or girlfriend or anything like that, and it can happen. But to be honest with you, and this is like these talks is a little bit more geared towards the youngins in the group that might be watching. You're gonna have lots of friends throughout your life. I don't care who you are, what you're into. Ooh, a chest. So, yes, yeah, first chest. Arc furnace electroids. Oh, well, that's super easy. So we actually don't need to hang out here a whole lot longer. Maybe we'll look around a little bit. So I'm not going in there. Anyway, so but what ends up happening is that you'll have friends that honestly you're like, oh, I'm going to be friends with this person, forever. I mean, we've gone through so much and we've had so much fun, and we know how each other thinks and how each other talks and how each other reacts, and it's like, how would we not stay friends forever, But a library. But it happens. It does. It could be something as simple as, you go off to, you go to different schools, or, I'll even use like a reference of one of my daughters. She had a friend, and they were friends through all of elementary school and almost all of junior high, and they pretty much just hung out with each other, and they talked to each other on the phone all the time, and almost every weekend one of them was spending the night at the other one's house, and my daughter would go to her house, like when they would like have family birthdays and whatnots, and she would come over to our house and everything like that. And they were inseparable. To be honest, it was kind of annoying. But anyways, no, I'm just kidding. And they were really good friends. And then the school they went to when they were in 8th grade, or the school they went to right before 8th grade, closed. And oh God. All right, that happened. Oh, silverfish. Not what I want. Not what I want. Not what I want. Not what I want. Oh, it made more. It made more, and I'm stuck with the door behind. You know what? I don't want to be here anymore. This place makes me unhappy. It makes me unhappy and uncomfortable. All right, so, they hung out for, like I said, years. Probably best friends for, like, 6-7 years, right? Oh, I died. Okay, well, that happened. What the hell am I doing all the way out here? What happened to my bed? This isn't even spawn. All right, well, whatever. Anyway, so, and what happened is their school had actually closed down, and so and they end up having to go to different schools because it just so happened where we lived compared to where her friend lived, we were just in slightly different school districts, like of where school went to. But it was no big deal because, the concept was they go to separate junior highs for just 8th grade, and then when they went to high school, they would be back in the same high school, right? So, 1 year it sucked, and they still talked and hung out on the weekends and whatnot. Well, what ended up happening is in that 8th grade year, they both ended up meeting new people because they were at brand new schools, They both ended up meeting new friends and whatnot. But they still talk to each other quite often, not as much as they used to. And the sleepovers weren't quite as often because now they were, kind of hanging out with the new friends a little bit and stuff like that. And then high school comes around, they hit 9th grade, and in their minds, the plan is still kind of the same scenario, Once they hit high school, they'll be hanging out all the time. What they didn't take into account is that once they hit high school, they spent a whole year hanging out with a different group of people. So when they hit high school, they were still hanging out with those people. Well, unfortunately, the two groups really didn't kind of mesh well. Even though, my daughter and her friend were close friends, none of these people knew each other. And what ended up happening is that as that school year kind of pressed on and whatnot, my daughter and her friend just hung out less and less, And it wasn't like they were pissed at each other. It wasn't like, one had, oh, that bat scared me. One had done something to the other, or, they had an argument or anything like that. It was just they got used to the group of friends they had, and really they didn't feel like shunning out all those friends. So I see you over there creeping. I see you creeping, creeper. And, just close that right there. Let's actually close this one. Anyways, so yeah, they ended up, and 3 apples. Hurrah. They ended up just kind of drifting apart. And, this was a couple years ago, and they're still in the same school. They're not enemies. They don't hate each other or anything like that. But they don't hang out. They don't talk. They both have their separate group of friends. And as time progressed, it just got, I wouldn't say worse. It just proceeded in that vein, where they just hung out with their group. And, they'll still see each other at school, obviously. And, they're pleasant to each other and say hi. But, it's weird that, they're in the same school. And, oh, you got a little cage on your head. What are you? What are you, little guy? Come here. And, so yeah, I just want to kill him so I don't get, okay, I didn't get those. That I did. I heard it. Yeah, you're in jail. Screw you. Anyways, so yeah, they like I said, they kind of drifted apart, and they still see each other. And, I'm going to tell you right now, it happens. It happens to most everybody. I mean, there are those cases, and I'm not going to deny that they're there. There are those cases where you have two friends who were friends in elementary, junior high, high school, even college or whatever, and they remain close friends for a very long time. It happens. It's, another library. This one isn't upstairs. But generally, you're gonna, it sucks, but you don't necessarily have to feel super bad about it. You can, there we go. God, nothing but crap. It's just the way that things go. It's not anybody was wrong or anything like that. You're gonna make new friends, and there may be gaps. You maybe have a point where, maybe your new friend goes on, or your best friend goes on to, something different in life, and you don't. And, at that point, it feels crappy. It feels like you got left behind. It feels that they came across, they got a better, I'm out of torches. That means I gotta get out of here. That they had, that things went better for them while it got crappy for you. And that's always a god-awful feeling, But stop it. Is this the way out? I think this is the way out. But yeah, I mean, like I said, it happens, and it's going to happen. But you're going to find new friends. You're going to find more friends. You're going to have multiple best friends, But it happens, and like I said, there's no way to. It's like a breakup. It's a friend breakup. There's no way to make it not suck at the time that it happens, but at the same time, as you get older, you'll find that it does happen. People move on, especially like the older you get, because. Let's say you're friends with somebody in high school. Well, then high school's over and you guys go to college. You may go to 2 different colleges on 2 different sides of the country. And you keep in touch, and, you email each other, you Snapchat, you Twitter and all that stuff. But it's not quite the same as hanging out in the same room, And eventually you guys grow apart. It happens. You're in college, you make another new friend. Well, when college is over, you guys go in a different might go into different job lines. Even if you go into the same type of field, it's possible that one of you get a job somewhere and one of you get a job somewhere very far away. You never know, So, I mean, it's always going to happen. I can tell you right now, I've had quite a few. I'd probably say off the top of my head, I could probably say I've got about 5 or 6 people in my life, friends, not relationships, just friends, of people that I, at the time, would consider to be straight up best friend, right? Absolute best friend. And, some of them I haven't talked to in years. Some of them I'm pissed about it. Some of them I'm not, but there's nothing you can do about it. But yeah, it happens, but I think the biggest thing to do, the biggest bit of advice I have on this, and I know there was a second part to this, but we're going to have to kind of save that for another time. The best thing to do, and this is, like, once again, this is another, like I've said a million times before, this is my opinion, this is a suggestion. If it doesn't pertain to you or you disagree with it, awesome. That's completely fine. Doesn't faze me in the littlest. But, really enjoy and embrace the time you have with the friends you have now. Make the times you have together and the time you spend together, the things you do, the stories you create, the life you experience, make it as fun and cool as possible. Make inside jokes, make each other laugh, be there for the other one if things are crappy. Because guess what? Things are going to be crappy for you sometimes, and it's going to be kind of nice to have that person there, But at the same point, just realize that this is how just being a person goes. I mean, unless you grow up in a tiny town where nobody ever leaves or, moves in, and you're stuck with, and usually when that happens, I grew up in a small town. By the time I got out of there, I pretty much hated everybody who lived there. But anyways, but just spend as much time with them and enjoy yourself. Be there for them. Don't kind of crap on other people. If you've got friends where your guys' only connection is you get basically talk about how much other people suck, and then you know what, you and your friends kind of suck. I'm just letting you know that right now. So let's turn this back on. So, but like I said, it's, have fun with it. And really that right there, if you want to talk about it being put into practical use, that's a pretty core fundamental of the squad. We're all people that came across each other in very different ways. I mean, we all came across each other in something related to Minecraft. I met Heather via YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. I met Snoop and Krista and Patty through a server that I was part of a while back. That's how I met Fitz. That's how I met almost everybody, I met Husky through that server. He was part owner in that server, and we would talk because of the server, and he wanted to record with me. He thought it was funny. I wanted to record with him, same thing, and, and there you go. So, I mean, I met Jerome through Husky, all, like I said, it's all interconnected. Can I say that everybody in the squad is going to be as tight as we are now 5 years from now? I have no clue. Is the squad going to look exactly how it is even a year from now? I can almost guarantee it won't, we add people all the time. People kind of get burned out on it. They leave. It's fine, But like I said, just have as much fun and do... I'm sorry, I'm just running around, guys. I don't have time to work on the next thing, so just finishing this up. Spend the time with the people you have. Be understanding, not only of what's going on in their life now and be there for them, but really, honestly, be understanding when their situation changes and it might pull you guys apart. Because there's nothing worse than you're sitting at home one day and your buddy comes up and says, hey, my family's moving, and you can be pissed at them and ruin the friendship and tell them to screw off, and they're going to tell you to screw off, and boom, that's the end of, everything you guys had. Or you can be like, well, let's try and keep in touch. You're still my friend. I still, love all the time that we spent with each other. And at the same time, I hope you have a great time where you go. I hope you meet great people. I hope you have fun. I hope you have as much fun with them as we had with each other, And when it comes down to that, that's really the point where you start having what I would consider to be lifelong friends. That person that you could go 6 months without talking to, and then the minute you guys get together, boom, you're right back where you were. It's like you guys saw each other yesterday. You know, and those are some of the things. But, you know, if you freak out and get pissed off at them, you're going to kill that each time. So it does suck to lose friends, but the big thing is that, you know, you'll find friends that are just as good, friends that are just as caring about you, and vice versa. And who knows, maybe better. I can't tell you how many times I had people that were like my friends, and then like over time had a different group of friends, and looked back and was like, wow, that group sucked. You know, that guy was a jerk. That girl was just uncomfortable and unfun to hang out with, you know. And like I said, so a lot of time you may look back on it and be like, you know, it was sad when they left, but at the same time, I'm good. I'm solid, you know. So that's one way to look at it. So anyways, I'm not 100% sure that's what the person who requested this. So once again, I apologize that I didn't get your name. I don't know if that was necessarily what you were talking about, but hopefully, once again, like I said before, I don't expect any of you to agree with me, to see eye to eye, to care about the ramblings I'm doing. But once again, if one person gets a piece of solace out of this, and it maybe possibly helps them either in a situation they're in, or a situation they've recently been in, or even maybe they hear it, don't think much of it, and then it helps them in a situation later, then you know what? It's awesome. I'll keep babbling on. So, all right, guys, we're going to wrap things up there. Like I said, just kind of a chit-chat episode. It went a little long, but it's not too bad. So, hope you guys enjoyed. I do love having these talks. I will admit, when I get into building big, weird-looking machines like this, I don't have the brain power to be able to do both. So, but once again, you know, if there's something you want to talk about, you know, something you want me to talk about, you know, something that may be weighing on your mind, and you know, it's not something you necessarily want to go to people you know about. You just want to kind of get some advice, some random dude on the internet with a beard. That sounds creepy. You know, put it down in the comments section. I read all the comments and try and do what I can. So, all right, guys. Well, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you hit that thumbs up. Questions, comments, concerns, put it down in the comment section. And until the next episode of Infinity, where we are going to try and get this arc furnace running, I want to thank you guys so much for hanging out, and see you guys next time. Bye.